He just loves it, man.
Oke guys, match pertama Argentina Indonesia Iesf Mlbb 2022.
Come on, man. Maybe next time we'll see it. Maybe they're saving it for later. But here,
Hyper Fanny,
Argentina with Karina picked up by Jotun and Civ.
Tas Hyper Fanny, Tas.
What I started earlier, that statement with the Melissa's go away, that provides easy cover, and she can be quite independent in that gold lane, where usually again Team Argentina can play and look towards that XP lane to get that winning lane.
Exactly. I think we need to figure out, well, both teams need to figure out which lane are they attempting to actually get ahead. Because if it's the gold lane, cool. You have a solid mid game and you have solid advantage in the late game. But if you leave that EXP lane untouched, the macro game, the wave gameplay, the 1 and 4 split push strategy can be utilized to its utmost potential. And with Psychots, for example, in the XP lane, going up against Papdog as well, that is something that you do not want happening.
Welcome to the land of Dawn, ladies and gentlemen. Team Indonesia here with Tazz starting on the purple buff and Jotun on that Karina on the orange buff. Let's see here, Tazz. One question I do have currently is what emblem is he going to go for? He opts to go for the high and dry. And now you can already see that it's going to be the mystery shop as well from Karina.
Gila anjing.
Down by the damage from the Fanny early on. And man,
Tas ini bos.
That is a lot of damage. That is what the high and dry is gonna bring to the table. Tazz is gonna be very aggressively moving around, going for those 1v1s. And unless Argentina has solid control in the lanes, then they can actually, you know, that's how they need to play to get the opportunities to shut down, to collapse onto Tazz, who is going over aggressive.
Here though, Jotun is going to have a bit of a rougher time in his jungle as Tazz was able
Tazz Dikasih Fanny ya guys ya.
It is going to be a 1-kill lead early on so far, but that's something that can really get the snowball going for Team Indonesia right now as Dreams just gets out that perfect match. Jotun still is able to get level 4 a bit faster than Tazz though, even after suffering that invade early on.
Mati lagi tuh
Flicker. Counter to the engage coming in from Erwin with the Flicker Fatal Links combo. No Purifies, for example, but we'll have to see. Does Indonesia have a strategy in mind? A counter, maybe through maneuvering to positioning. We have to see later in the mid game, but for now, the Atlas cannot be as aggressive when it comes to these skirmishes. So we'll have to wait until about level 4. Now with the first turtle spawning, you can see action building up near that top side.
Both teams are playing it a bit passive here early on, but wait a minute, a solo kill in
solo kill Brans, gigi banget, Cok.
The Indonesian king of marksmen there as he
King Brans
win out up against the damage. Tazz out of nowhere with Dreams finds the divine judgment. Now Tazz just going mad with the cables. And that's gonna be Hijume who picks up a double kill. Papa Dog caught in his own jungle. Psychots just does
ngeri Indonesia,
Cuk. Back and forces him to recall. 2 minutes in, and it's Indonesia who has a pretty solid lead.
Just like that, 2 kills on the table. That is how fast. That is the X factor we talk about whenever Indonesia is being mentioned. Out of nowhere, these plays will just keep happening, so Argentina need to be on their toes. The composition of Indonesia is all about that pickoff, so they cannot leave their member alone. I think we saw Meteoro use the Cult Altar, but it was just a bit too late, unfortunately, and that cannot happen again, because that is one of the core ways they have to counter Indonesia right now.
Tidak ada war.
3 minutes in, that's Turtles for free by Indonesia. Psychots in that XP lane as well, getting a pretty substantial lead with Brands doing the same. So far, all 3 lanes are controlled by Indonesia. This is a good read as well. Brands knows something is up, knows that Erwin has been missing on the map for quite a long time, so he plays it safe. Meanwhile, Indonesia, Dreams and Hijume, they don't decide to rotate. They decide to just keep that pressure in the mid lane to, again, relieve some of that pressure from the other lanes.
I'm just waiting for the time where Tazz will start exploding out of nowhere, because right now, it's a ticking time bomb, man. He is farming up. But once he feels that he has the necessary items, he's about to go absolutely wild. And as you say that,
oh my goodness, Tazz! There's so much damage. Hijume pops that black shoes to run away.
Gila, bos.
Possible engage here.
Nah, men, salahnya ini parah habis, Cok.
Mid lane, again opening up the map for the rest of his teammates. And that damage is absolutely absurd, man. Meteoro just disappeared. They're trying to do it onto Erwin right now with a divine judgment, but Erwin pops that perfect match. very well timed to get out of the Divine Judgment.
Tazz on the Fanny right now, an absolute menace. And I don't think anyone from Argentina can deal with him 1v1. They need to find a way, a team fight, force him into these situations where the high and dry won't really have a lot of impact. He won't be able to actually get those solo kills, but it's easier said than done. As we say that,
oh man, the Cold Altar HP is gone just like that. Meteoro has the flicker. You can see the kill pressure already from Tazz on the Fanny. That's why it's a signature pick. And that's why usually
Tazz Fanny ini gila banget ya guys ya.
Called Altar, man. We talked about how it's only very situationally good against teams with limited amounts of damage, maybe big burst damage, so that the second life can be preserved for, you know, for your team to actually have more impact. But when the Called Altar HP gets taken out like that, it's too dangerous.
Erwin with a perfect match again has to use it defensively. A very different Atlas gameplay for Erwin here today, as Meteoro is going to be chunked low, goes in for Shadow Stampede, Dreams gets targeted down, but it's only the roamer. A shutdown as Jotun puts Argentina on the board, but it's Tazz who picks up a trade up top. Tazz now going on to Papa Dog with a cutthroat as well. The flicker ready to save Papa Dog, but it's still a solid trade, 1-for-1 right now.
It's unfortunate Hijumi was the one who actually fell in the engagement. He is the one with 3 kills right there. So it's not ideal. I think he chased a bit too much. But of course, we see again the damage potential coming in from Indonesia. A lot of poke damage. And if you get too low, Tazz does not waste any time at all securing that kill, taking you out of the line of dawn.
Now it just goes to the discipline game, right? They already have a pretty good lead. 3,000 gold. That's going to be building again. Tazz looking for that play, jumps in just to bait out that Cult Altar, and now it's gone.
Gila, Cok, ini Tazz, Cok, sumpah.
A brilliant decision by Tazz as well.
Maginya nggak main.
So he just played around the minions, forced Meteoro to pop that Cult Altar. It's pretty impressive.
Very impressive. And it's just too fast. If you wait for the right moment, you might get taken out before using it, but the Fatal Link is being used, Mirko.
Selamat sih, tebel itu aja, Cok. Datang Fanny.
It comes down to Tazz, who's able to rotate down below.
Dapat 2.
Brands gets taken down. That's going to be a 2v1 situation. A 2-for-1 trade as well, but it is going to be equalized in that mid lane. Psychots flickers forward, gets the double kill, and makes it a 3-for-2.
Untung banyak, Cok. Dapat 2 tower. 2 kill. 3 kill.
3-for-2. Not ideal, but I guess at this point, Argentina need to get themselves on the board right here. If they play a bit too safe, they're just waiting for the members of Indonesia to set up for the next play. And as we can see, it can come just like that. Divine Judgments, bravest fighters, and of course, Tazz just slice and dice him all the way through in the back line.
He went for 2 items early on. It's going to be the Heptaseas and also the Melphic Roar. So he knows that Argentina are going to start to pile up on that physical defense. Going for just physical penetration as early as 7 minutes in the game will basically mean he'll deal true damage.
Not to mention, he is up against essentially 3 heroes that can go tank, so it's a very smart adjustment decision in the item builds. And now with that lead, it's just pressuring away the members of Argentina from this turtle. They're still able to secure the purple buff, but right now, full control for Indonesia, unless Argentina does something unexpected. Erwin with that flicker, we've seen him make the plays happen, but can he replicate the same success?
2 ultimates burnt out by Tazz.
What?
Go away. Cult Altar, very crucial ultimates when it comes down to the team fights. And just like that,
mati kali Jume.
Oke, ada ulti nampaknya. Erwin, it disappears because of the counter engage that Indonesia can constantly threaten with.
Gila banget, hilang bos.
Divine Judgment onto Meteoro, knowing he does not have that
banget ini kacanya, bos.
Picks him up like it's nothing.
Mati kah?
Opening up the map, going to be targeted down. Dream's going to be taken down by Argentina. A 1-for-1, but it is the mid laner taken down for the roamer.
Look at the mid lane though, the wave management coming in from the Indonesians. We've talked about this since the drafting phase, and Argentina is absolutely feeling it. Even when they get a kill, it doesn't look like they're getting any control, and look at the aggression.
Papa Dog dove under the tier 1. Tazz styling.
Gila, udah snowball nih.
Papa Dog 0-1 currently. Again, he tried his best early on. He went even in lane against Psychots, but because Tazz has had such a good time around the map, just getting kills and getting the snowball rolling, he can start to melt these tanks down. Psychots up top.
Halo,
Giants
astaga.
with the bravest fighter forces the go away before the fight even starts.
Menurutkan
Erwin
Psychots.
is forced to use the perfect match now as Psychots gets caught, but he baits enough
Oh,
of the resources out. One frontliner for another. Erwin for Psychots as Indonesia looks for the
Okay,
re-engage.
Tazz.
And Tazz is a monster. Jumps in like it's nothing, jumps out like it's nothing.
How is he able to maneuver like in curves on a Fanny? Usually we see linear movements with the cables, but this man, he is drifting right now.
It does feel like he's drifting, you know, he's playing those cables in a way where it looks like he is actually going around the walls. But this is his signature thing. This is the reason you usually never see it get left open.
This man was a mid laner, so now in the jungle position, this man is just flexing all this mechanical skills, the killer instinct as well. And when he is that accurate with the cables, how can you like play as a backliner for Argentina, but Papadog is the one being targeted.
Instantly here by Psychots and Brands. Erwin tried his best to pop that conceal and the perfect match to reach towards his teammate, but Papadog just gets bursted down too fast. Because again, of the items, even Brands with the Hunter Strike in the Melfic Roar, with the POD completed so early on, man, he can actually just burst that whole team. Yeah, right as I say it, on cue. Pops that Renner, gets Meteoro to a quarter of his HP, swaps to the Bennett and clears out the wave easily with the BOD completed. Now, I need to ask you a question, Arashi. Argentina, how do they come back in the game, if it's even still possible?
They have to get a shot down somehow, some way, man. I mean, they have some tools to get a catch, but they need to make the proactive movement. They can't wait for Indonesia to go in like this.
Well, gets baited in by Tazz with the cables. Meteoro falls as well as that Psychots who finds the double. Brands completing the Haas clause will mean that he will no longer need to recall. He can just hit a few minutes in the jungle and get back to full HP. Jotun trying his best to look for a play. Tazz and Brands with that combo. The snipe from the purple buff and Tazz with the cables. And Psychots jumps in once again onto the bravest fighter. But it is going to be the go-away pop as well by Argentina. Meteoro backing off. Call Alter already used. 11 minutes in and 2 base turrets have fallen.
This has been coming in from the Indonesians, having so much momentum and yet so patient. Snipe does not connect from Brands, but like I said, now with the Cold Altar, when do you pop it? Is it when Tazz comes flying in? Is it when Brands is charging up the Snipe because he can one-shot you as well? It's such a tough situation, especially when all the responsibility is on you to keep your teams alive. Meteoro with a Cold Altar, and we can see that Erwin, he is definitely feeling the pressure. He needs to make a play, but if he tries too hard, if he forces it, this is what will happen. Indonesia can absolutely take over.
12 minutes in, this is
gila sih sumpah permainan Indonesia, guys.
We have seen longer games than yesterday, right?
Dukung guys, supaya juara nih guys.
11 minutes, and today we saw a game go all the way. Dreams though, looking for the pick, finds it like it's nothing, but it's going to be the Cold Altar, which is placed down. Tazz looking for the play, waiting for the Cold Altar HP to be shrink down, to be melted down as he goes in for a re-engage. Getting the base turret, getting back as well, baiting a whole lot of resources for Brands. Free hit on that back line. 2 members falling for Argentina. Meteoro and Civ, the 2 damage dealers, are still up, but the snipe connects onto Civ. And that will mean Civ will have to recall. Tazz
datang Tazz mati lagi.
Goes in for the cut though, finds Meteoro.
Dia gak main,
looking for a triple kill onto Civ now.
He
does get it in the end. A triple kill for Tazz up against Argentina in a dominant game 1.
Dominant for sure. This is why the Fanny has been so prioritized. It is disgusting. What is that damage, my guy? It comes in. It's just so much damage, so fast. Because if there's some time for Argentina to try and react to it, to try and counter it, maybe there'll be some kind of fighting.
Oke guys ya, lanjut match 2 ya guys ya.
The Cold Altar, it's just